What's the latest? What do you know about the situation with Uyghurs outside the camps, inside the concentration camps during the pandemic?
So right now, I would think the main thing we want to emphasize the fact that, again, like you said, there isn't much that we know. That information is completely blocked off, and it's actually very frustrating and devastating to think what could be happening in East Turkestan at the moment, given what we're seeing in the rest of the world. And we have millions of people in concentration camps and prisons in East Turkestan. There have been absolutely no reports or no mentioning of what's happening in these camps and prisons. There were actually in February, the media reported around 4 prisons in eastern China that were infected with these viruses, and how over 500 inmates got infected, including some of the workers. And that was in February, so 2 months ago, and that's part of eastern China. So we're wondering, okay, there's no way that East Turkestan has remained unaffected, especially in these camps and prisons. And what's interesting is that even when the Uyghur community had launched a campaign to basically send the World Health Organization to East Turkestan to assess the outbreak and to send any necessary medical personnel to make sure that things are under control there, or like at least they're being dealt with. There has been obviously no response, but China responded to that campaign saying that it's a smear on China's political sphere, and also it's a bogus thing to ask for, because they claim that they've released these people in these camps, and therefore why would this even be an issue?
You yourself, you have family members who have gone missing. But do you have any other relatives there, or friends from whom you were able to hear anything?
I had heard that the whole East Turkestan region, China has opened up to go back to normal. So people are going back to school, going back to work, and those Uyghurs who are now being made as modern day slaves in these factories are continuing to work as slave laborers. And again, so we don't know the actual reality of everything, but we assume that it's really bad. And I'm very much concerned about those in these camps and prisons, and I'm thinking that China is taking advantage of this virus and making sure that it affects these prisoners, because at the end of the day, China's attempt is to essentially wipe out the Uyghur population, and for them this is a way to expedite that process. We have heard that many families are left basically unprovided for. The women are now becoming breadwinners. Oftentimes both parents, both husband and wife, are taken to these camps and prisons. Kids are either taken to orphanages to be taken care of by the state, but obviously this is not a proper way of taking care of children, because they're subject to abuse and forced indoctrination and torture. So what ends up happening is the elders are left behind, and these elders are forced to do hard labor. And there are videos also circulating from the region showing these an old woman carrying this huge load of items on her back to make a little bit of money so she could support herself. Or sometimes these children are actually left with their elderly grandparents, who are then forced to find means of taking care of it.